Righty. How's everybody doing? It's been a bit. I had put a post on the YouTube post stating I haven't put a new video out since the last ones that came out. Definitely got this crud, which is cold, but dang, it's a monster cold. Just seems to linger. Not that I can't breathe, but it definitely has some connection to your breathing and your respiration as far as just hanging out and not just getting rid of it immediately. So I needed to kind of get out, get some fresh air, and kind of just be out and about. I noticed one thing as I'm out and about and just beholding the weather here in Southern California in the end of May is this is unseasonably cool. This isn't usually what we have at this time. A lot of overcast, not even reaching 70s. And I know you guys in other areas would have 4 seasons and more extreme weather patterns for your especially in the other side of the pole of each other of winter and summer. Definitely distracting, or definitely whole polarizations of opposites of weather. And many of you will say, and I've even mentioned before, I had back in the day, a family member come and visit my grandfather back in the day, and us as a family when I was a young boy, under 10, I believe, 10, 9, something like that. Say, "It's weather's beautiful here, but it will make you soft," right? And many of you guys in other areas are like, "Man, what are you guys complaining about?" Well, when you get acclimated to a place because you've always been here or you lived here for periods of time, you kind of get acclimated. We don't really get 4 seasons here. So in Southern California, up north, it gets more. You get a little bit more. It gets more colder, especially in the Central Valley. In their winters could be definitely more cold. But anyways, just some takes. I haven't did it off the cuff, so there's really no direction, but I'm going to flow in the energetic flow of the spirit, if I may use that phrase, or energy from the within. Just let it flow, let it flow. Was an observations on some of the past things videos I put out. I talked about in the past about and have shared videos. How do you guys like even the recent videos I shared, being able to share the screen? I went into some other things in history that definitely are awesome, and you need to look at because it applies to you and it applies to now. So if you're looking for the old, some of the things I do, which is like always coming from within in the tool market, right? How to use your tools, how to deal with your emotions, how do you, readjust and boot yourself when you feel like you're kind of going into negative thinking. That, of course, is us. That's why we always declare the toolbox here on West Coast Uncensored, using and making your own toolbox that fits you, and some of the things that we can do to do that, and which is needed. But just kind of went in so you kind of know what we're dealing with as we go deeper into the antiquity of some of these systems of occult knowledge and what it's really connected to and what it really is. And I kind of wanted to share this, put this in a way that makes you realize that some things will feed and bring out the other, that it's really connected, whether you're being aware of it or not. That's why it's really important to be aware, allow the revelation, your intuition, and just be really aware that always the other side of one side is another side, right? You're going to have cold, you're going to have heat, you're going to have the other side. Amongst many things is the fact that I brought out how esoteric and exoteric is the same with initiation. The exoteric was not have anything to do with initiates. It was a general public not initiated and not knowing and not even know they're being initiated, but keeping almost like a continual kindergartner or very young youth minor. Notice that word minority and minor go hand in hand. And you start looking at this and start seeing this, is that the meaning of exoteric was for public consummation or eating. You're given this because you have overseers or your overlords that decide this is all you get. But to be an esoteric was for an inner circle. And let me flash back a little ways to a comedian that used to tell the truth all the time back in the day. George Carlin would talk about these type of things in a very comedic way, but definitely a reality check, definitely not a softy cone reality check, as we see now in this way that things are running in the world. There's a lot of softy cones. People just complain, and always play the victim, right? It's there. And he would make these statements that you're not in the club. There's a club and you're not in it. You don't have membership in the club. That would be definitely the esoteric. The exoteric's giving the public food. You can consume this. You can be a consumer of the public information we can give you. But the esoteric, immediately, both these words, when you look at them in etymology, go right into the fact that one is for the consumption of the public and one is for the inner circle. And that, in the first sentences, that's what it says. One says this is open to the public. The other one says that you have to be an inner circle. Why am I saying this? To let you know this. And then I have videos talking about, since we haven't been through former things like situations to be in unless you've went into them. And if you're going into them, you're not watching me to watch me to learn. You're watching me to critique me to see what I know and what I don't know. I don't think I'm at the place to have a bunch of agents watching me now. I don't have that, that's usually for the people who get a big numbers. Algorithm definitely affects my numbers, because I've just noticed certain things with the algorithms with my recent videos of not getting as many, and I just don't believe that. But their algorithms definitely control things. As I've got a little bit more into the algorithmic stuff and talking about that, even within ourselves, rebooting ourselves and making changes within yourselves by breaking habits, breaking things. So I'm here to say that we all are always breaking habits, right? If you're aware. If you take no responsibility, you won't. You'll always make excuses, but you'll blame others. But anyways, we've talked about that in the past. But what I'm saying is, I did a video on, you didn't maybe go to a mystery school, but many of you who are awakened have gone through the initiation and an initiator within. Especially those who deal with the within, variable amount of gnosis, revelation knowledge, activation of intuition, activation of maybe your dream world, activation of all this stuff that within you that can be activated. We talk about the Claras, all the Claras and her sisters, right? And the different parts of Claras. Like I said, there's 5 different Claras. If you say, what are you talking about? Go back and watch old videos. I broke down a series of 5 different Claras. Voyance, clairlenience, clairessence, and all that, what they mean. Those are activations within. Why I'm saying this is you've been through initiations. Think about that. So when you always wonder, I'm going to take this another place, of people family members and friends who have no idea. And you really deal with this in a daily point. And we even talk about learning how to have control of this, or learning how to maintain this. And maybe this will help you. It helped me. And there's 2 aspects that helped me. One day I really understood that they're not on a frequency for them to receive the frequency you're giving out. They can't upload it. They can't upload it, or they can't download it. They can't receive it because their frequency doesn't connect with it. And that's understandable, right? You'd like them to, but get out of the liking and realize that's a fact. You may be doing yourself more harm than doing them good. Notice I didn't say doing them harm. There's a reason for that. That would depend on how far you would go with them. Trying to shove something down their throat, or trying to push a square peg in a round hole. Another one would be the fact that you always are dealing with something that seems to always come at you in a whole different aspect of that. Is this is going to go to what I just was saying about exoteric and esoteric. somehow through this process, God, universe, whatever name, the all, the nameless benefactor, whatever word you want to use for it within you, it's almost like you have a built-in initiate and initiator within you. So you have gone through initiation. Beware of that. Your friends, your family, they haven't been through it. They don't know what initiation and initiator is. And then sometimes you're trying to tell them things, share information on where you're at now. And if you've had some experiences and you've had the upgrades and went through the processes and they haven't, and you have went through some processes that you know that things just don't come out of nowhere usually with this kind of knowledge. You don't go usually from 0 to 60 one day. You're pushing a godless religion or just total right-wing religiosity to the max, and then you're this next week you're just this enlightened guru. There's usually a process from going from one to another. How do you know? I've experienced it. How do I know? And I've seen it with others, right? This is a fact, and definitely a fact, and a fact, and a fact. What am I saying? I'm saying that quit trying to shove them into things they're not ready to receive. You're trying to give them a full course, straight $150 plate of unbelievable food at the greatest steakhouses when they find their diet and they're only ready to upgrade from McDonald's. And I'm talking spiritually. Hopefully, I'm not talking really physically. I'm just trying to correlate I'm trying to give you an example. They need to maybe upgrade to Chili's, and maybe they need a little bit of revelation of more of where they're a step up the ladder instead of jumping up on top of the ladder from the bottom of the ladder, from the bottom step of the ladder, and you want them to jump on top of the roof. They just can't handle it. They can't take the frequency. They haven't had the initiation. And what I just kind of it's hitting me more and more today is those of us who walk this journey and have patterned our journey and can really access our journey and noted our journey, experienced your journey, lived your journey, lived the up and downs of your journey, went through the process of your journey, through the initiate and initiator, through which is your experience within, and your experience that you receive through this, for them that are definitely highlighted and ready to move on and go forward. What are we beginning ready for? What if we talk about certain things of the next level for us, right? Always talking about going to the next level, going to the next level. What would make us think that the initiation process, what would the initiator or the teacher, the initiator, expect from the initiate to allow it to go to the next level? It's very simple, but sometimes we misthink it because we're always trying to give something to somebody that hasn't gone through the initiation level. Think about what you left and what you processed and what you gave up and what you've lost through your initiation process, especially them that have tasted that good wine, that I think in the Bible it calls it tasted the good word, the next level word, right? What is it that you did and experienced that you want them to bypass? And why I'm saying this is sometimes what we want, and I even seen this recently, I've been dwelling on it, how us as parents, and anybody that's been a parent and has been a child, right, from your parents, right? And your parents might say, I just want you to have it easier than me. And then we go off and we do the same thing. We just want our kids to have it easier than us. We want people to get something to spiritually upgrade themselves, revelate, come out of your stuck situation of religion or not knowing and dogma, to be able to access the inner circle of self, right? That hidden, that veiled word, right? And taking the veil off. The book of Revelation actually means revealing that which is hidden. It's unveiling, right? It's unveiling. I'll even tell you a little bit what this represents in a physical realm. And this is where us, and I'm going to go deeper in this in the future on some of my videos I'm going to show, is that all these secret societies, right? Let me stop here. That's going to different. I'm going to divert too much if I go there. Stop, D-boy. What I'm saying is be aware. What you want may not be the best what's for people. Again, think about yourself. Maybe you had to go through these struggles and pains that your parents did not want you to go through. But the very struggle and pain was food for your seed to grow, for you to grow. It was the nourishment you needed, even though it was tough stuff, man. Hardness, pain to go to the next level. Heartache, roughiness, just hard. Tears, shedding tears. Shedding your heart breaking. Could be all these things I'm mentioning are aspects of it, right? Loss of a love, loss of family members, which is a loss of a love, right? Whether it's family, friends, loved ones, relationship based, anything that you really was close to you and dear to you, you lost. Even things that you loved growing up, as you started unveiling yourself more and more, you realized that you weren't part of. It could be the thing you loved and found out it really wasn't real. And that could be whatever that can be. I won't go into depth of what I'm talking about me, because that's a whole different thing to go in a whole different thing, reason to go into that, because it would reveal another truth why you would do that. But this is staying on point, right? I'm going to stay on point. Because, off the cuff, I can go off the cuff. I can go here, where all those rays on my videos, when D-Boy is behind me, you see all the crown of thorns, the sun rays or the antennas are giving different frequencies off, right? Why? Why are you saying that? You would say, D-Boy, what do you really mean? What do you tell me, D-Boy? What do you tell me, West Coast? What's so uncensoring of this? Is our expectations that we're trying to give other people may not be helping them? And now after generations of watching the last few generations say, we're just trying to make it easier for our kids. We don't want them to go through what we went through. And then I look at it now and I said, the very thing you may have wished for may be the very thing that's your downfall, because I believe more and more now that I really look at it, your kids, you can't take away their journey to get where you really don't want them to go if you're enlightened. And this path is not for this path that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the religious path. Those who know. Those who've been initiated, is a very rough path. It's not for cupcakes. It's not for twinkle toes. It's not for those who play the victim. It's not for those who will make excuses, not to get to the most highest part you need to get to. These are those who are going to engulf and embrace the whole aspects of this, even abuses, pains, right? In deep ways that I don't even want to describe, right? That you may have went through. But it was really the emotion and the trigger that triggers you to the place that you are now, surpassing old places that you would have never went through. So when we wish it to be easier for our kids, did we really kind of ham-hock them and kind of set a stumbling block for them not to be the best they can be? And then a lot of times when I look in the world and I see how these kids are cupcaked, how they play the victim, how they can't handle stuff, how they always make excuses. Come on, we see it all the time with this younger group of kids or young adults now, that they don't have the hardness like the people of me, and the ones before me were even harder, right? You know what I mean? I'm talking about this. And then taking it into your spiritual initiation and initiate. Why do you have to be initiated? What's the purpose in being initiated? Why would I have to be initiated? I'm going to tell you what, so that you're found mature, worthy, and trustworthy to take on that which is coming your way. May I say it again? So that you be found worthy, right? So that you would be found worthy and trustworthy to take on that which is coming your way. The mantle, the reality. Because only through this process of toughness, initiation, right, would you even value. That's why we see that what going back to the kids before. When everything's given to you, you don't value it. When you go through the hard times to receive something that you value, that's a world of life life lessons that you will value to your core, that will make you trustworthy. You notice the word I said, value. What? Value? Frequency. Values money, right? Even money values currency, values current, and I'm talking electric too, because currency and money is drawn to electricity. Somebody tried to tell me that a long time ago, and I said, you can't tell me something I know. You're looking at, because they were demonizing money, and I get it, but it ain't about the money, it's about the currency. It's about your electrical draw, because when you're operating as a magnetic force, you're going to draw that which comes to you. You don't have to go, what was the old word they used to say around, paper chasing. You don't have to paper chase. That means you're chasing something that's evading you. Come on now. I love off the cuffs. This is where I can just kind of, stuff comes to me. It's not so organized. And I like being more organized. That's what I'm doing with putting these videos and stuff together. And screen sharing. I'm also trying to teach you guys what's coming our way outside of us, that you be prepared, which what I'm talking about being initiated is having you prepared for what's coming. And if I tell you what's coming, it's going to stop your initiation, because you're always waiting for the ice cream but didn't give the dime yet. You want three scoops, but you only paid for one scoop. Not happening. Find value. So the initiation is for you to build your currency, because you become trustworthy. And notice that word trust is a financial word too. You need a trust. You have a living trust. You are a living trust, whether you know it or not. That's a whole different money situation that we could talk about. Money was moony. Moon is the moon is actually frequency vibration connected to the water, which connected to the stream of the bank, or the river bank. Money, moony bank. Moon drives the waves. That's a whole electricity, magnetic. So you're being found worthy because you can be trusted for what you went through, for the mantle and what's coming to you in your way. It's coming to you, but you must go through the initiation patterns, initiation trials of your life to may be made worthy to accept that which is coming your way from a whole different level that you may have not realized. What you can walk into when you're walking in a full different frequency, dimension, changes. The initiator is to make you worthy. And making you worthy is, can I trust you by giving you this power, aka God, the benefactor, the universe, the oversoul, the higher self? Are you going to be trustworthy if I give you this power? Because if you're not, you're going to squander it. This would go into the story of the prodigal son. He didn't come to judgment and get his ass kicked when he came back to the papa's house and the family, right? He didn't go through that. He was welcomed because he went through the muck and the mire of the trials and tribulations to receive his crown back. He became trustworthy and worthy through the things that he went through. He found himself worthy to come back because he went through the trust and the trials and the tribulations. And the other son that became jealous of him was one who had not been initiated into the level of where he was at. He was a son, but he didn't get the feast. He didn't get the upgrade. He didn't get the up level. He didn't get the upload. Hear what I'm saying? These are parables. They're not historical stories. These are stories about you when you're applying them within and how they apply to you. So my question is, you're being initiated by the initiator within. You don't have an outward secret society initiating you into the mystery schools. We don't have that. The only ones we know of are the Freemasons and that, and a lot of that's been, perverted and subverted a long time ago and ham-hocked, right? And the foundation of that from the beginning, and like I've said many times, like with ancient symbols, we think ancient symbols were the last symbol that was hijacked, when really we go to the truth of that symbol and find out that's not what it meant in antiquity from those who created it. It had nothing to do with what we ended up doing. Yes, same here. Same here with you. You wonder what you went through, but it was really to make you, if you stay your course, if you're being initiated, initiator, and it's awareness. What are your struggles now? What is maybe the last of the things you see within your shadow work or within yourself that you know you got to clean out your closet? Do you see it? Are you aware of it? Are you aware when you're doing it? Are you aware when you're done doing it? Because we all do it. I know I do it. Why do people become so reactionary? Do you ever do scientific test on yourself with what I'm talking about? You and your energy, by how you react and how you implement. And you say, what do you mean by that? Have you seen your reaction and how things work for you when the reaction possibly is very negative, but you're aware of it, and immediately you go and reboot yourself by taking those deep, lovely breaths, which are rebooting. It raises your frequency again. There's something about the deep breathing in the meditative mind, right? To upload or reboot yourself into the change and harmony that you need to do to find it in the initiation and initiator. But why, so we've been through so many things in our life that is connected to that inner child who, again, plays in the playground of maybe abuses, sexually, mentally, physically, seeing what's happened to the parents dying at a young age, or seeing something that's very traumatic in their life happen to somebody else, and it just has an effect and they have nightmares, right? Whatever it may be. How to overcome that and how to put this in action with yourself. But going through the initiation is for you to grow, to be found trustworthy, to be empowered with your mantle, or be giving you back your crown as the Father says, come in and we're throwing the feast to feast for you, because you're uploaded to the mantle of the next level of where you need to go. This is just an off the cuff today. I thought it was a really good one. Think about this, right? Think about this. I'm going to touch probably on another one here. I'm going to make another video. I haven't did anything from here, and I'm in the mind space to do this. I remember when I get in these mind spaces like this, I remember when I was going on the walks and doing it, and how it just flowed. It just came out of me. I might not even have a plan. It was like, pick it up and go. I could feel my oversoul, higher self, just go, pick it up and go. It's time to go. The mouth will be filled when you open it. So, for all you guys that are definitely West Coast and sensors, that have been definitely staying close, the new ones that are staying close, the ones that have been on, the ones who are watching full time, the ones who are definitely connected more in the recent month with our growth, I had to do something for me. I had to be more consistent with this if I wanted to see my channel grow. And it happened. Not where I wanted to be. It's not dwelling on what you don't have, being grateful for what you have. I'm grateful for all the ones I have. When you're grateful is when increases come. When you're always speaking on what you don't have always revisits you. You guys have a great day. Okay? Bye.